Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to July 2026. What are you playing? With games my mom found. I am Mike Albertin, who's been playing some games with me tonight.
I am the king of useless knowledge, Joe Butler.
Oh, I'm Kendall.
And hey, it's Tyler. What's up?
Welcome back, all of you. And as we do every month, we're here to talk about some games we've been playing, movies we've been watching, and TV we've been watching. Of course, I have 0 games to talk about because everything I do is for the show because I've been insane, man. So I don't have anything to mention. Joe, what about you?
So real recently, I found out that Doom, the new Doom, the Dark Ages, even though I'll get into that later, but the people that Microsoft probably are awful people, but I'll get there. Doom, the Dark Ages decided to re-release DLC, and I was like, don't I own that game? And I went, I sure did. I paid $70 for it.
Ooh.
And remembered that I had it, and it's like, spend $20 more on the DLC. I don't want to do that, Microsoft. You get a cool chain whip spear. Okay, take my money then. It's fine. I have disposable income. But then I remembered, I only got to chapter 6 of 22 of Doom. But I never talked about it on the podcast, so I'll just talk about it now. That game's fucking awesome.
That's what I've heard.
Yep, it's great.
There's like a dash attack with the shield, which you can basically launch yourself across the goddamn map with it. Throwing it feel like everything in that game feels great. It's not as fast as Doom Eternal, but it's its own thing where I feel awesome. I have a gun that shoots like a cannonball on a chain. It comes and whips back to me. It's great. I love it. I'm not like I'm just having the time of my life every single time. I think like what is it? Also like I said too, I only got to like chapter 6. Chapter 3 is just the mech fight, or like one of like the 5 mech fights in the game. I say because there's like 22 mech fites, and
There's mechs in that game?
yeah, you're in a mech beating up
wild.
giant demons.
Now you got my attention, sir.
There's only a few. There's probably like 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4. There's like
Still,
like, yeah.
how you get my attention because I
Just
can give a
enough,
shit about
yeah.
Doom.
Oh, you want your attention, Mike? I'll give you your attention. That's not even the best part. After you get off the mech fight, he walks out and there's a bunch of dragons hanging out and they fuck off and a bigger dragon with laser fucking wings pops up. And that's the Doomslayer's ride. And you fly around a dragon you blow up ships, and when the ships blow up, they hit the ground, and then you land in the ships, kill the demons, and then jump off while it's blowing up back onto your dragon.
Okay. Oh, that does sound cool.
It's great.
It's great.
It's great. I love it. Yeah, Doom Eternal. Get your own soundtrack for it because they fired the guy the last 2 games soundtrack. That's the fucking issue I have.
Oh
with it.
no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the music in those first 2. Yeah.
Yeah, so just do what I did. Turn the music off and then play the soundtrack from Doom Eternal, and it's the same fucking thing.
That's perfect. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't hit the same.
I like the soundtrack for Doom: The Dark Ages. I liked it.
Yeah, no offense if you like it. I couldn't jive with it, so I just turned it off and fucking I turned it off and just played the Doom Eternal and then my own mix of like heavy metal music. So
Nice.
yeah, but Doom Dark Ages, buy it on sale and then buy the DLC when it's on sale.
Well, yeah, and I'll just chime in because one of my games is the Doom DLC. So like, I mean, play Doom: The Dark Ages. Like, it's one of those things. Like, play the base game first, 100%.
Mhm.
It's a great game. It's probably my all-time favorite first-person shooter. Not that I'm a first-person shooter person, but yeah, it's great. The sequel is also great. The DLC is also great. First of all, like, I'm historically not a DLC guy, but like the idea of like paying like for like a little bit and then you get like a whole nother campaign. And yeah, it's like a 6 or 7 hour campaign, probably, depending on how good you are. But it's like just enough. I don't remember if the base how granular the base game was with difficulty settings, but I've always, with these Doom games, they're all the hurt me plenty difficulty is like 4% too hard for me. Like, it's just barely too hard in the really hard spots. And so I was able to go through the game with doing 125% damage and they do 75% damage to me. So like, just, one notch this way and one notch that way. And it like it almost totally balanced the game. There was one fight that it totally broke the fight because of stuff, but because of a mechanic. But generally it really was usually I don't like that kind of thing, the kind of granular stuff. I feel like it should be the developer's job to balance the game, but when it's like that close to perfectly balanced, it worked really well. Yeah, you go to hell to kill all the demons in hell, and then they kill you first, or they don't kill you, but they they beat the crap out of you and mess up your shield, which is how you get the spear. And then you are basically fighting your way out of purgatory for it. So it's just, it's more of the same. It's the big arena encounters and the crazy demons. And it was just like a lot of fun, a nice, and also like 10 hours or, 6 to 10 hours, not
It's a nice range.
not committing to 40 hours of a thing. Especially if you already own the game, if you played the game last year, which I did.
Yeah, I think $20, especially for like 6 or 7 hours. I don't mind being spoiled. I've already kind of seen how the opening is and some of the stuff you do. I also did hear you can go back and play the whole game with the DLC spear as well, which is also like total plus.
Yeah.
But yeah, $20 for DLCs especially for like a 7-8 hour DLC is perfect. That's like $20 for $20 for Simon Ada, the Resident Evil 4 remake, or even like $20 for the DLC for Cyberpunk. Like understandably reasonable amount of money for those DLCs.
I'm not a super price sensitive player, but I would have not batted an eye if this was $40. I mean, and granted, I'm not sensitive to prices. I think a lot of video game players are very sensitive to prices, but if this was $40, I don't think people would have complained. Or people would have complained, but people are going to
No, they would have complained.
Very true.
Just like they're going to complain that GTA 6 is $100 as they buy it. So
I will complain GTA 6 is $100 while we play. That's bullshit.
are you buying it?
No.
You're fine.
No, I'm
people that buy it are the ones and complain about it. Where it's like, yeah, you lost your reasoning.
I'm complaining because now it gives the incentive to be like, hey, Wolverine, now $100. Hey, the new Pokemon, now $100.
I don't want to talk about this. I could not disagree more. I actually think that the fact that all video games for so long have defaulted to the same price is a problem. I would much rather pay, this is a game that took 15 years of development and, they put $11 billion into it. I would rather pay a different amount for that than Wolverine, then Mario, because if you can have games be $100, that means that you can also have AAA games that are $40 or $50.
That's not what it means to them.
Yeah.
But it's what's happening, because Expedition 33 was $50, because Star Fox was $50.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Star Fox
Nina the Hollower was $20.
Was a remake of a SNES game, so
right. But it could have. But if all games were, if all AAA games were $60, then it would have still been $60. I mean,
that is a fair point.
I'm buying a lot of games this year, and most of them I'm not paying $70 or $80 for. I'd rather those like, especially if we're only getting so many giant releases. Yeah, I have no, and I mean, it's all still cheaper than comic books.
Yeah.
It's all still cheaper than going out to a steak dinner.
Then at least you get food, though.
I'll never complain about expensive food.
I will.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I think my worry has always been, like, are they going to make everything that costs? So,
well,
like,
then buy indie games. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't buy anything new, so I don't give a shit. I'm you
don't have to get mad about pirating. Just pirate. Like, there are alternatives.
I get so upset about it.
Yeah. I'm mostly yelling I'm yelling at your listeners. I
think most people, if you listen to me at this point, you usually probably think the way I think.
Those are the people I want to alienate. Instead, listen to my podcasts. Because that makes sense.
Ninja.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Joe, do you have any other games you want to talk about?
Yeah, did y'all hear about the lawsuit that happened last year? I want to say 2 years ago, where Pokemon was suing like the small indie dev for like taking their idea of throwing balls at monsters.
Yeah, huh? Power World? Is that Power World?
Yeah, so Power World hit 1.0. I've been playing Power World with my husband.
There it is.
I'm playing it right now, actually. But what is it? We do this really cool thing. My husband loves playing these games. They're survival craft, and it's also very different. If you're like a huge Pokemon person, it has Pokemon aspects. It's got a little bit of Zelda too, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in there as well. You have the big Fortnite glider, and you get guns. You don't start off with guns, because basically there's like a leveling system. So level 1, you have to have only certain things you can build, and then you get to keep going up. Like even in the level 1, you can't start off making your Pokeballs. Also, fuck you. I'm referencing in reference. Anyone that tries to correct me, you can eat my ass. My friends do it, and I'm like, I'm not going to say it because you're not going to know what I'm talking about. Make me more Pokeballs, go catch me a fire Pokemon, and build me a fucking fence, and that's all I need. Easy enough, easy enough. I'm going to go out and shoot some deer. But it's also in the same essence where it works like Arc. Is anyone here familiar with Arc?
I know it exists. Does that count?
Very, very little bit.
It's a punching trees game, right?
It's
Yeah,
a punch and
right. You're not wrong.
game, but unlike Minecraft, I'll compare it to Minecraft. Then, unlike Minecraft, where you can have a furnace and you put coal into the furnace to make it cook things, you instead need to actually physically collect Pokemon. Like you can't take the whole game works as a whole. You can't take the Pokemon out and just go punch trees. You can't just catch Pokemon and not do the base building. It's all works fluidly in its own fluid motion because from the base that I have, you have to have a base to make Pokeballs to catch Pokemon. In order to make those Pokeballs, you have to level up. By leveling up, you have to do the crafting stuff and things like that. But also, you have to catch Pokemon, because given the example, you can't use coal to light the furnace. You have to catch a fire Pokemon to have that furnace constantly making or smelting your stuff. You're also able to have Pokemon build stuff around your base. There's certain machines that only require water Pokemon, and you might as well have a water Pokemon running around because the crops need to be watered.
Mm.
And it all works in tandem. I love the way it works too. I usually have a really bad habit of not enjoying survival craft games, but I've been really enjoying Power World.
Yeah, same. I always like the idea of a survival craft type game, and then I bounce off of them right away. But this sounds interesting, kind of using the Pokemon formula and kind of melding it with that. It does sound interesting.
This is why they got mad. We keep Pokemon.
And the guns. I got mad about the guns.
But it's like I mean, I'm one step removed from this because I don't have any desire to play a punching trees game. Games where you build things scare me.
Fair.
But it doesn't. I mean, it is a world in which you interact with with cute-ish beasts, but it's not real. But I mean, is it any more Pokemon than Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
Is mechanically is it? I mean, I guess you catch monsters in balls, but I mean, you're not. it's not like 6-on-6 battles or an 8 gym system or. And it's not turn. Is it turn based?
It is not turn-based. It's more along the lines of what the newer, which is even funnier. What the newer Pokemon stuff is doing. Mm-hmm. So technically, it is 6-on-6. Or hold on, let me see how many Pokemon I have in my party right now. 1, 2, 3. It's 5-on-5, or technically 5-on-1, because there are gym leaders, but instead of them being 3 or 4 or 6, they're basically just a person on a giant Pokemon, and the Pokemon's a boss, and it has 5,000 health, and so it's typically a raid boss. So you would take 3 friends. So if you have an example, the first Pokemon is an electric Pokemon, so you and your friends would all take rock Pokemon to beat the shit out of the boss.
Okay. But I mean, I guess it's not, it sounds to me like it is not a, the only thing, I mean, the things that so what did they steal? They stole the idea of monsters, which I think is in lots of games. And then they stole the Pokeball concept, but what else? And I mean, it sounds like the mechanics are different. The goals of the game are different. It's
different enough to where if you like Pokemon, you would probably like this. You're able to breed them. You're able to have them learn different abilities. They do level up. You're able to ride them too, which is fun. All the pals have different abilities, and sometimes those aren't even unlocked in tiers. So I have a water Pokemon that I have to drive in the water. I have a deer Pokemon that I run on that I use as a horse. I have a fire Pokemon that if I grab it by the ass, I can use a flamethrower. But there's also a Dodo that I can throw like a grenade. That's an ability you can unlock. Or yeah, there's also technically also as well, because they're Pokemon, they have to also sleep. So if I really want to, I can have one of the Pokemon that actually is the canon sexy Pokemon. It's really good at making drugs, and I can stab drugs and all my Pokemon. They work all night.
So okay, but I guess I guess here's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. I'm not confused. I'm just trying to kind of understand it. But I guess
fire.
This is no if Lies of P has similarities to Dark Souls. The games iterate off of each other. Is it fair to say? I mean, they released the game, so I guess that means that
it's
that
nothing
that
like
they're not. That it's not copyright infringement. It's just yeah. Okay.
It's the idea. The best way I can give an example Is anyone played Legends of Arceus or the other one that came out recently? Legends of Xena or whatever?
Yeah,
A little bit of
familiar with it.
Arceus.
I haven't actually played them.
Yeah, you know how like you like if you play those, you're like, man, I wish Pokemon could do this all the time. This is essentially what that is. I wish Pokemon would do stuff like this. I love the idea of being because like it goes even further than beyond. The gun thing is a little silly, but they also did it to make themselves different. But I do like the idea of, hey, I have a base. The Pokemon get hungry. The Pokemon need to have like if they're not mentally healthy, they will stop working. Or like oh hey, because it is a punching tree game. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go out and shoot a bunch of sheep Pokemon and get meat to make my sheep food. So like it's things that you wish they would do and they haven't done, and they're doing it because fuck you Pokemon. So I recommend it highly.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's a good way to put it. I mean, I've heard other people talk about how much they like it too, so you're not the only one that I've heard.
Yeah, but
enjoy
there's
it.
there's a very different sub-different too as well. I say real quick, I want to get too heavy on the topic because we're going ring around. Power World is what essentially, if y'all aren't familiar with, it's called a Type 3 game. If anyone's listening, you can also look it up. Type 3 game is essentially what a punching tree game is. My husband now see, but there's also a difference because Power World's a little bit more inclusive than Minecraft, which is fine. I like it because I am an adult man. Minecraft is essentially for children. But my husband also has a game that he likes to play where like you're basically a caveman and you're slapping dirt together to make rocks. You use those rocks to make steel. Like you literally go through the game by going through like the Bronze Age and then the Iron Age and like and I can't do those because I'm not a rocket scientist. He is. I don't know how, but I can't do those. So it does vary. There's some of them where like I'll play and it's like this is I'm too stupid for this and I'm not gonna play it.
I get that. I don't play any of those type of games because I don't really play crafting games. I need to have an end. If there's no end to your game, I have zero interest in it.
This has an end.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, there's a raid.
There it is.
There's actually it has an end where you it's that sort of thing too. It's like Arceus. There are gym fight. There's a level cap. The highest level you can get in this game is let me see, because I'm level like 16, and I think you go up to level like level 90 in this game, and you have to get all the abilities, and it goes from you only having like a bow and arrow to you actually having a jetpack and a missile launcher. And there are raid bosses. Someone just for like because of the 1.0, there's an actual size. What's the one from Sapphire? Kyogre. There's a giant Kyogre you can find in the ocean. It's a raid boss. It's actually like 50 feet long and tall. So
cool.
Yeah, so there's endgame. You can
interesting. We'll see. Probably never. All right, and Kendall, what's some other games you've been playing?
Okay, so first of all, just real fast, do you remember if I talked about Mixtape the last time I was on?
I don't.
Trying to remember. Okay, so we'll start with Mixtape. Mixtape is what I lovingly call, and what other people is basically a walking simulator. Very in the same. Same genre of like What Remains of Edith Finch or Gone Home or whatever.
Yep.
A little bit more mini games, but it's I'd say maybe the best one that I've played. It was one of my favorite experiences when I play these kinds of games. I always play with my wife. We kind of hand the controller back and forth, but it's very good because it's such a passive experience. It's cool. There's like skateboarding mini game that's like as good as Tony Hawk. It's one of these things where because technology and gamey stuff is so good now, like you don't have to. It doesn't have to it's not only the AAA studios and it's not only the pushing the graphics to the end to be able to have these like really neat experiences. And it's a pretty straightforward story of three best friends who need to get alcohol before a party, and tomorrow they're all going their separate ways before college. And it's a super bad or a Say Anything or a Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like, kind of all those kinds of movies, tonally done really well and high fidelity. It's got some high fidelity stuff in there. And then the music's great. Hence the Mixtape.
Is it bad that whenever somebody says Ferris Bueller, I hear bonk, bonk, bonk every single fucking time? Yeah,
but
can't help it. This does look
no water in
interesting.
my glass.
I have this on my wish list.
The mini games are basically music videos. You do
that's cool.
Like one of my favorites is it's like a batting cages kind of mini game, and it's to You Got the Touch Transformers. And I heard some reviewers say that the needle drops are on the nose. I didn't think they were on the nose. Most of them were stuff I hadn't heard of, but it's great. Takes place supposed to be in 1999, but it feels like it could take place anytime between 1980 and 2010. Yeah, just a great game. And now my list of games all disappeared. Here we go. Okay. So I played Mina the Hollower. It's this game that no one's ever heard of, I'm sure. Done
Looks
by
so
the Shovel Knight people. Visually looks kind of like Link's Awakening, but gameplay wise, it's like a 2D Dark Souls. You play as a mouse who can burrow, and I think a lot about difficulty with video games because I'm bad at them. And this one, first of all, you compare this to Silk Song, which I bounced off of after like 20 hours and I just hit a wall on it. That game is too hard. It's hard, and there's ways to make it better. I could get better at it, but that game for me was too hard. What's cool about Mina the Hollower is, first of all, the difficulty is very front loaded. So that means at first it seems really hard, and then it just kind of gets easier as you go. And I love that in a game. I hate games also where I'm just always afraid that the next challenge is going to be the one that I'm not going to be able to pass. Because that happens, that happens in Dark Souls, it happens in other stuff. But I love, especially like when the late game in a game is just like, that's like it's like we were talking about Doom. Like you get to the late game and it's just like smooth sailing because you're so overpowered. I love games like that. And I also love about Mina the Hollower, it's got a very good upgrade system, both with items and just with like a general sort of leveling. And the very slight difference that they do with Dark Souls, because in Dark Souls you die and you drop your experience, and then if you die again you lose it. In Mina the Hollower, you don't drop your experience, but if you die again you lose it, or if you die later in the game you get additional lives, and you lose all of your experience if you die when you have a sparkless demise or something like that. So what you can do then is, if you get to a hard part, you can die, and then you can go to a shop and spend all of your bones, and then it doesn't matter if you die again because you already spent those resources. And it's a really neat little mechanic. And yeah, and then also like I don't always love like Metroidvanias because I like an open world where I can, like, if I hit a wall here, I can go over here. And Mina the Hollower did a great job of doing that. You can basically, most of the game is open from the beginning. There's very little gear gating. There's basically no gear gating. And also like every single time that I was like, this is so hard, I am never going to be able to beat this. I tried, I banged my head against the wall for 10 more minutes and then I get past it. And that's like the best feeling in a video game. It's you think it's too hard, but then it's not too hard. I love it. And also you can burrow through the water. Just know that you can burrow through the water. Everybody,
I really want to play this.
They don't tell you can burrow through the water, and if you jump in, die. But if you burrow through the water, you can burrow through the water. And there's like a million on Reddit. Everybody's like, am I soft locked? And it's a picture of them next to the water. Because they think they can't go.
Okay.
Yeah. It's great.
Glad you told me that.
I feel like it's more Zelda than Metroid, right? Probably.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a, like, it looks a lot like Link's Awakening, and it kind of has that feel of Link's Awakening too. So
I've been thinking about playing it.
It's really there's no gear gating is the biggest thing. Like, you can get gear to make things easier, but there's basically no gear gating. So it's in that way, it's more like it's really more like a Dark Souls or a Bloodborne. It just visually looks like Link's Awakening in that sense. Yeah, I mean, maybe early Zelda, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But yes, visually it definitely looks like a Zelda game.
I mean, it also kind of has like that motive of Zelda too, like where you get other stuff and then eventually are able to do things. That's a terrible way to compare. Another game that it's like Sonic Mania, in the sense that it looks like one of these retro games, and you play it and you're like, that was a great game, and then you're like, I should go play a retro game, and the retro games are not good.
Right.
I mean, they're good, but they have they present different challenges that I just love. I love how video game developers have, learned things over the last 30 years, other than just how to put more polygons on a screen. Like, the gameplay is great. The story is kind of interesting, which it's like, I feel like video games stories are getting better than they used to. Cause like, it's not a story forward game, but especially the ending, it has kind of an interesting ending.
I'm just
So-
happy it finally came out because that game was in production for a long time.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, well, there to be some fucking Hollow Knight too. The way I see it, people our age are starting to actually like get their chance at stuff now more and more. So I think that's why I do believe we are getting better stories, but I also think we're getting more different stories because there are people who are our age. It's kind of like when I see most kids' cartoons now, and there's like an anime reference that I'm super familiar with, and I'm like, oh, the person that wrote this is my age.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid.
I will shout out Star Fox. I played the Star Fox remake and I really liked it. It's visually really good. Again, it was $50, which is admittedly, that's not cheap. I understand that's a lot of money for, it was
I mean, it's cheap now for a game.
but I mean, it is $50. It's not $60. It's not $70. And it's, I mean, a lot of people would say that Star Fox 64 is one of the best games ever made. So
I would.
So a remake of that looks beautiful. This game looks, it is. I thought it was the best looking game that I've played on a Nintendo console maybe ever. I was legitimately impressed by the thing. The little cutscenes are fun, the visuals are fun. There's very little, because sometimes with remakes, especially ones that are like very one for one like this is, you do see it shows the age of the game. Like there's some difficulty or some controls issues. With the exception of the very, very last level, the Venom 2 level, I did not notice a lot of difficulty there. The campaign, people will say the campaign is 2 hours. The campaign there's 3 campaigns basically.
Right.
So it's really, and if you're bad at video games like me, it's more like a 10 or 12 hour experience. And that is, I'm not saying it's the longest game ever, but it was a satisfying experience. There's also a co-op mode that's really interesting where one person is the pilot and the other person is the gunner using the mouse controls on the Switch 2, which is interesting. I think it would actually have been better if you could have just controlled the second player with the joystick, is my only complaint with that. But my wife, but it was, I think it would be perfect. And this is going to sound like I'm insulting my wife's ability to play video games, but I think it would be perfect for like a parent and a kid to be playing together, because the kid is going to want to shoot things and the parent is going to want the slightly more complicated, maneuvering, the piloting the ship. Like it worked really well. That's not to say that my wife couldn't have piloted it or whatever, but she also liked shooting the guns, and I liked piloting the ship. And I don't know, I haven't played a lot of rail shooters. And when I've done other episodes of this show, I've done several of the Star Wars flight sim games, and I'm always like, it's a shame that we don't see that this style of game isn't as popular as it once was. And so I would love to see them take this game and use this as an excuse to make a real new Star Fox game. But even just as it is, I had a lot of fun with it. It was a real good weekend.
Nintendo couldn't convince me to buy a new Star Fox game. You could convince me to pay, or for a third time, you could convince me to pay $50 for Star Fox on the Switch 2. So I was honestly originally like, I'll wait till the game drops. But $50 right now, I'd consider that.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's not bad.
Also, I would say it is the N64 game. So like, if you haven't played the N64 game, you could probably figure out a way to play it. If you don't, in that, I think I remember playing the N64 game for the the 8th episode of Games My Mom Found, and like with all the people that used to be on the show. But I remember even then feeling like the game holds up. It doesn't have a lot of those issues that I had with the earlier versions. And in this version, I will say, I did accidentally delete my game 3 times. So be careful about that.
That shouldn't be that easy to do.
Yeah, seriously.
It was because I was dumb.
Well, it shouldn't be still that easy to do, no matter what.
One time I just assumed that I had to delete my game, so I deleted it.
I think I only deleted
it twice.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, because you can only have one save file, but every time you open it, you choose whether you're doing solo or co-op. And I thought that I needed to delete my game in order to. I thought that I didn't realize that you could do that, so I deleted the game. Yeah. And then the second time I deleted my game, I was going to switch from solo to co-op, and I told them I didn't want to continue. So like it was like continue or abandon your mission. There wasn't like a go back to menu option on the continue screen. And so I deleted it then. Yeah. So I actually was only twice, but that worked out because both times I got to the last level, the first 2 times I played through the easy version of the campaign with my wife in co-op. And then I played through the medium version and got to the last level and deleted it. And so then I played through the hard version and, turn down the difficulty on the last level and then beat the but yeah, so watch out for that. But that, I guess in the original there was like no save at all, so that's that's a little quality of life thing. I also I feel like you had a limited number of lives in the original.
I believe that's correct, yeah,
which was an issue for me on that playthrough, and that's gone here too. I think both of those things they were artificially inflating the length of the game in 1996 or whatever, but they're gone now. And there's challenges and there's multiplayer there. Yeah, I don't know. I was very satisfied with that. And
if you're having fun, that's what matters.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. And then I think we already talked about the Doom DLC.
We did.
I started playing a game called Hyper Fist, which is free on Steam. And I've only played for like 10 minutes, so I don't know whether it's very good or not, but it's free and it just came out. It's like a student game, I think, but it is a first-person brawler. It's got kind of like the tone and the visuals are like a pop punk aesthetic, sort of like a Sunset Overdrive or a Crazy Taxi or something, but it's first person and you punch. And I am bad at mouse and keyboard, so I was bad at it. But the art style and stuff seemed kind of fun. And I'm playing Final Fantasy VI. I started it. It seems like a JRPG. That's all I got.
You're playing one of the perfect games ever made, so
I don't know about it being perfect. I keep not knowing where to go next.
You said you're playing 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're playing a perfect game.
Okay. I may have to ask you where to go next then.
I know that entire game by heart, unfortunately.
Okay,
so
I'll send you screenshots when I get lost.
I'm not joking either.
I forget if I'm lost right now or not.
Well, that I can't help you on.
Next person.
Tyler.
Yeah, I'll make this quick because I've had not much time to game lately. So I would love to say I've been hammering away on some indie game. Maybe I could turn somebody on to something they've never played before. But no, that's not the case. I'll just piggyback off Kendall here and talk about Star Fox for a minute. Because it's the only thing I've been playing, and I really love it. Is it the same game I played when I was 12 years old on the N64? Yeah, pretty much. Is it gorgeous? It's gorgeous.
So good.
Yeah, it's such a good looking game. Do the characters look like weird little freaks now? Yes, and I love it. I love the new character designs.
I love them too. Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of reminiscent of the old puppet style from the original SNES game. They're so weird looking, and I love it. The game, it just did what it has to do. It's the exact same game as Star Fox 64, except it's gorgeous, and the new voice acting is great. The little cutscenes are good. They drip feed you some lore about things that they never really went into before. Challenges are good. I still have not gotten through the hard path and gotten the true ending because I used to know this game inside out, and I'm actually struggling on the hard path more than I thought I ever would, considering how well I know this game. So there's definitely some challenge there. It's a good time. You know what? $50. I don't buy a lot of new games anymore. As soon as they did the Nintendo Direct about this game, I knew I'd be buying it day one. I just had to. Too much of a fan. I love Star Fox 64. It's an all timer. But yeah, that's all I got for games. But Star Fox is a great time.
Joe, did you have any more?
Yeah, I've got 2 more real quick too as well. One is just a general friend slop game. My husband just came across a game on Steam called Goblin Company. You're basically just a bunch of little goblins. You can put on little suits, put on a little hat, put on little masks, and you basically have to mine for your goblin overlord. Pretty fun because you got goblins you can mine. Your mining's a little gun. You level up that way and things like that. And basically, there's in order to transport all the gems you have to carry, you have to basically make a cart system throughout the whole area. And of course, shenanigans ensue because you can't control the cart. So if you're walking on the only path you made, and one of your dumbass friends forgot that they sent the cart going 120 miles an hour down the track, you're going to get your ass eaten. So also the goblin names are randomly generated. So you're not always picking the same goblin. So you'll be like Gubbo Boobo once and then you get hit by a train and now you're mumbo wagons or something like that. So it's pretty cute and pretty fun. And now time to pull the thing that I usually do, which is my Phoebe. Have any of y'all heard of the 15-year running game created by Digital Extreme Warframe? They're 15 years in and just had their TennoCon and announced a new Space Doll Warframe that is a detective noir that smokes a cigarette and throws cards. They're also introducing a new card game to their system as well. So if you're 15 years behind on Warframe, tomorrow's your first day of Warframe then.
No, thank you.
Play it right now. The last character is 2 characters in one. It's just Dante and Virgil, and you just switch between them, and it's 1 character, but it's actually 2. Go play Warframe right now. Do it right now. It's free to play. Free to play right now. Right now.
No, thank you.
But that's all I got.
Okay, Kendall, do you have any other games?
No, that I think that covers it.
Okay, then we'll do movies next. I don't really know if I stay with that same order because I do these once a month, so I forget. So I got a few movies. I have 3 or 4. I have 4 movies. First, I rewatched Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Like it?
Nice.
I still do. I still really like that movie.
It's a good movie.
I don't like the Spider-Man movies. I don't like the new Spider-Man movies, except for like No Way Home.
I remember not liking Far From Home, and I remember bitching a lot about that movie. That's a whole different conversation. But I really had a good time rewatching Homecoming. I was like, this is really good.
Homecoming works. I mean, Keaton is so good in that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that scene with him and Tom Holland in the car is the tension. Yeah, it's a great. I haven't watched that in a long time, but it's very good.
I would have watched more. Like, I would have watched Far From Home and No Way Home, but neither of those are on Netflix at the time, so I just watched the one and was done. But I enjoyed it. Enjoyed my one movie. And then I also did watch Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movie.
I love
Yes.
that movie.
Okay. Love it.
I did not love it as much as I used to. And I was like, is something wrong with me?
Yes, remember a time when all the movies didn't interact with each other and we just had Tobey Maguire running around with like a silly, like, I'm Spider-Man accent?
No,
Good
no idea what you're
times.
talking about.
Remember?
Of course I know.
I mean, I think those. I mean, I haven't revisited those in a long time. I do remember the first time seeing them after I started reading comics and being like a little disappointed with them. I don't know. I think it's like those movies have gotten better. Like Spider-Man and X-Men were like the first like good ones. And it's okay for them. It's okay for it's also, we forget that it's okay for movies to be bad and have fun with them.
I mean, it's not bad. It just, I think it's partly just Tobey Maguire is too old in that movie to be a high school student, and it was bugging me.
Yeah, he is.
So there was just that. I mean, it's still a fine movie. It was just, I don't know. Maybe I just wanted the other Spider-Man movies. I was going to try to watch Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 before they go off of Netflix. And I started Spider-Man 2 and I got like midway through it. I'm just like, I don't really want to watch this right now. So I haven't gotten around to it. At some point. I'll come back to me. But Joe, what about you? What's some movies?
Bouncing off what Mike said, I like the Sam Raimi movies because I like them for what they are, which is hokey 90s after 9/11 movies. I don't bash on the Tom Holland movies, but I don't like most of Homecoming because I hate the fight between I like who's the Falcon or
Vulture, Michael Keaton.
Vulture. I like Michael Keaton as the Vulture. Great idea, love it. They should have had a reason to bring him back, but that last fight is just Spider-Man fighting a kite. That's all that last fight is.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
Far From Home's great. That ending just leaves a sour taste in your mouth though every time. And the only reason why I absolutely love Far From the last one is because
No Way Home.
No Way Home is because of the matchup and everything.
Yeah,
the ending still leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Spider-Man can never be happy, and fuck you, Sony, for making it that way.
That's Spider-Man. Spider-Man can never be happy.
I know.
That's the point of his character.
Wrong. The new Ultimate Spider-Man proved he can be happy. Everyone can suck my ass. I know. But I'm a horror man. I'm in a horror mood. I watched The Backrooms with my friends this week.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? That was really good. I should not be in this area. I am 10 levels under. That movie's great. If people complained about it, but I feel like people complain about it because they're stupid. I really liked it. The movie starts off, first 5 minutes is found footage, and it's like set up into like 3 acts after that. The second act is all found footage, and it's like the best part of the whole movie. I kind of wish the movie had a little bit more of that, but a lot of the reasons people are mad is because the Backrooms has established lore, and it's either the Backrooms is this weird entity that no one's ever seen, or there's a weird government going through it, and they go with the government one, obviously. But I like the whole movie. It kind of explained itself a little bit too much, but that's also not a big issue. But totally, if you're also not in the mood for a scary but a really good, interesting horror movie, Mike, I recommend it.
I do like stuff like that.
And then the other movie I watched was Obsession. Great cast all around, A24 movie. Watch it with your girlfriend and then complain about how awful the guy is in that movie with your girlfriend or your partner or your spouse.
Okay.
I need to get around to Obsession. It's been on my watch list, and I need to go ahead and watch that one.
Man,
Great
people are
movie.
loving it.
Yeah, great movie. I'm hoping that we get like because the plot of the movie, if anything, is this guy really likes this girl and he breaks something. He breaks what is essentially a wish stick. In the movie, they tease like 2 more items, like a voodoo doll and a magic all-seeing eye. People are theorizing that might be what the next 2 movies are. Or you can just do one on the Wish Willow thing, because honestly, that in itself is funny as hell too. So I'm really excited to see, because this guy, there was like an original director, all original cast. The girl playing Nikki in the movie, fantastic job. Also, all practical effects. That one will scare the shit out of you, though. I actually like shit my pants twice in that movie.
What, an obsession?
Obsession, yeah. Obsession's actually scared the shit out of me like twice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because it's more realistic?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I heard it gets very disturbing.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the movie, but when you wish for a girl to love you more than anything in the world,
Oh, and it ain't gonna end well.
it's not going to end well.
I
Also,
like Obsession.
yeah, honestly, also complete fact, that movie should come with a warning that I would understand why people don't like that movie, because it can get very real at some times too as well.
It wasn't that it got real for me. I thought there was a lot of stuff that was just in there for shock value. They don't handle animal death well at all, and so if you have any triggers with that, go to doesthedogdie.com before you see it, and watch out for the trigger warnings there. And then I didn't find it. Yeah, I don't know. I did not find it to be realistic. I thought that the way that some of the characters were acting seemed it was like over the top and not, I don't know. There was no subtlety to it. And I don't know. It was a miss for me. There was a lot of stuff that was like little nitpicks. I don't even remember specifically.
Yeah.
It was a near miss for me. I did really enjoy Backrooms. A lot of horror movies. I've been getting into horror movies like in a way that is more, because for a long time I was afraid that horror movies would be scary and that they would be disturbing and stuff like that. And in recent years, I've realized that everyone else is a pussy, because every time I watch a movie that people say is scary, I'm like, that's not scary at all. Like I was like, really? You thought that was scary? So and then also I feel like there's like the A24 and some other like more mainstream. There are a lot of like critically acclaimed horror movies that are aimed at a wider audience than maybe used to be. So like they probably are going to have less things that are like full blown triggering, or things are. But anyway, a lot of times with these like horror movies where it's like a mystery, I feel like the question is more interesting than the answer. And there's 2 ways you can approach that and be successful. You can either actually make the answer be more interesting than the question, which I think Disclosure Day does pretty well, or you can do what Backrooms did, which is just don't explain it. Right. I mean, they explain some stuff, but you're not supposed to understand it. Like it is a vibes piece. My only issue with Backrooms is I would have liked a little bit more character work with the two leads. I thought they were a little shallow. But also it's like, it just looked like that movie is more than anything, it's about looking cool. And they succeeded in making it look cool. So I liked Backrooms a lot. Yeah, like I said, Obsession was a near miss. I'm glad that people like it. It was an interesting, and I think it takes some big swings that for me were misses and other people were hits.
I just have to know, does it play the song "You're My Obsession"? Who do you want?
I don't think that just because someone's in love with you, they will poop on your floor.
Amber Heard pooped in a bed, so
like it made some choices that I felt like were just there for shock value and didn't really. And then I'm also kind of over the trope of the leading quote unquote nice guy is actually, no, you don't understand. He's actually the bad guy. I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel that that's a little played out. So, but I'm a grumpy old man too. So, don't listen to me.
I get it. I think we all are. Kendall, do you have any movies? Or no, you're.
I got a list. I got a million movies, but yeah, go back to the first guy.
Joe,
because I interrupted.
Tyler, do you have any movies? Because I got one more, if anything.
Yeah, I got a few. I mean, we could trade off.
I don't have any more movie. I have one more movie after this, but that's the
Okay,
reason
I'll
for
let
that,
Tyler
too.
go, then we'll come back.
All right, cool. Yeah, I got a few. I can go through them pretty quickly. The other night I watched Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Are you guys familiar with this one at all?
Oh, was that
Yeah.
was that good? I heard about it, but I missed it in theaters.
You know, as I was watching it, I couldn't really decide. I was like, am I enjoying this or not? But I think in the end, yes, I did enjoy it. Sam Rockwell's the lead. Basically starts off, he shows up in a diner and this is all in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. He shows up in a diner and he says, you know, I'm from the future. Some combination of the group of this people in this diner is going to help me save the world. And against a vague threat, we find out, you know, the AI technology, it's all kind of thrown in there. You could tell, and he said, you know, I've done this over 100 times. It never works out, but I have a good feeling about this one. And Sam Rockwell can do no wrong. He's great in everything. And you know, the movie's, it's good. Some of the messages, you know, I feel like the whole phone's bad, social media bad, technology bad thing's a little overplayed right now for good reason. But it's definitely a little overdone right now. They have these cool wraparound vignettes where you get to know the other people in the diner, and they're like flashbacks, kind of Black Mirror style. There's like 3 or 4 of those thrown in, which help keep things interesting when the main story drags, because it does drag a little bit. But they do these cool like Black Mirror style vignettes to kind of tie everybody together, which I really enjoyed. And the last 10 minutes are fantastic. All in all, I'd say worth a watch. It does drag a bit in the middle, but definitely worth a look. It was a lot of fun. It was directed by Gore Verbinski, who did Pirates, Curse of the Black Pearl, and the American version of The Ring. So, I don't know. Interesting choices there.
All right.
Well,
Did you have any other movies?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
If I have to real quick. So do they do the Telltale thing where they'll give you like a whole character's background, I'll go back to him, and he's like, I'll help you, and you get shot in the head, and you're like, all right, we done that guy's backstory for no reason. That was a...
You know what? I feel like they almost wanted to go that route, and then they kind of moved on a little too quickly because they're really focusing on this main group of like 4 or 5 people. But that would have been an interesting choice for sure.
Yeah, it reminds. I say that because I know me and Mike are playing a Telltale game right now, and that will happen. Well, they'll have a whole character, and they'll have a name, and he'll be like Jonathan will remember that, and then he'll just die like the next scene. You're like, okay.
Oh well, that didn't matter.
Remembering shit.
Yeah.
All right, Kendall. What about you? What's the movies?
Okay, yeah. So I got a whole list of them here. So So we already talked about Backrooms. Yeah, I really liked Disclosure Day. I think it's a 4-star, not a 5-star, but if you like Steven Spielberg and you kind of go into it with, you know, wanting to like a thing, then it's fun. People complained about some of the visuals, and like either go with it. Like if you're really sensitive to that kind of stuff or whatever, I think some of the visuals are intentionally trying to look like I feel like it's a callback to 1950s sci-fi in certain areas, and I described it as like saccharine. It's very optimistic in a way that, you know, I think some people thought maybe thought it came across as a little naive, but I you know, if you kind of know, if you saw Close Encounters and you want to watch another one of those, it's not that far off from that. And it also has some silly sequences that are like straight out of a Fast and the Furious movie. So it's just sort of
Interesting.
You know, it's just a fun movie. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Speaking of enjoying it for what it was, Supergirl, I really enjoyed.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, again, 4 stars, not 5 stars. People are like, "Oh, it's not nearly as good as the Superman movie from last year." I'm like, "Oh, so it's not as good as like one of the best movies of last year." I mean, the Superman movie of last year was
great.
It was incredible.
I know not everyone loved it. It was the movie that if you were like, I want to watch one movie in 2025, and I watched a lot of movies in 2025 that I said, you know, it wasn't necessarily my favorite, but it was, you know, that's the one everyone should see because a lot of people will like it and it's very good.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
And Supergirl was real good. I loved the comic it was based on, and it's about as true to the comic as I would expect any of these to be, you know, because none of them are no movies are remotely true to the comic.
No.
So like, you know, but they got the character right. They got that like anger in her, that underlying anger in her character, which I think is a defining characteristic of modern Supergirl. Not that I've read a ton of it, but I've read a little bit of it. And I really liked the way they sort of redid her origin just a little bit.
I like her origin in this.
Yeah, I really appreciated that. It took a little bit from the Absolute Superman comic, or like a sort of, I don't know, it may have been parallel thought, but it sort of answers a question that has always like buzzed in the back of my mind, that the real answer is because it was 1920, but it was, why did why did they only send a baby? And this is basically because Jor-El has delusions of grandeur, like we saw in the Superman movie, and Kara's father has gotten a group of people together to save a city worth of people at least, and it's told a little bit differently, and I really appreciated kind of what the different telling there.
I really had a good time with that movie too. I was surprised all the bitching it's getting. I know why, but that was really good. I mean, it was a nice standalone type movie. I mean, that's how it felt. It wasn't a save the world type thing. It was just nice. It was a good film.
Well, there is the sexism angle, but I think that superhero fatigue is a real thing, and there are people who, and I think about this with Star Wars content as well. It's like there's a reason that every movie ever for all eternity hasn't been a superhero movie. Like, they're not for everyone. Not every single one is for everyone. And yes, we live in a world where they spend $300 million on a movie, and so it has to make $1 billion or else it's considered a failure or whatever. And that's a problem.
That's on them.
But if you like superhero movies, then you watch this and enjoy it for what it is. If you don't like superhero movies, don't watch it. You don't have to. You don't, and also and there's go watch Backrooms instead. That's fine. I won't be offended.
So, funny enough, with both Superman and Supergirl, I'm getting my friends slowly into superhero movies. And one of the funny things that we had was, I told my husband, I was like, hey, we should go see Superman. And he's like, why do I want to go see Superman? And I was like, I want to watch Superman beat up a bunch of ICE agents. And he goes, all right, we'll go see Superman. And then my other friend wanted to go see Supergirl, and I'm like, we're not going to go see Supergirl. And she's like, why are we going to go see Supergirl? And I'd be really nice to her. I go, your dog just died. Oh, yeah, we're not watching Supergirl. Yeah, she's like, yeah,
she would have not been okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we're not seeing Supergirl for a while, girl.
From what you were telling me that day, absolutely not can she see that movie.
The dog doesn't die. I'll give you the doesthedogdie.com.
I know
it doesn't die.
Yeah, but her dog just died. So
no, I understand.
So she wouldn't be.
She would not be happy after that movie.
I went to, because I read that there was a dark ending to the movie, like on Reddit or something, and I was like, oh crap, did they change the ending? And no, it's not that kind of movie.
I like the end. I don't want to talk about it, but I like the ending. People complaining about it, I think, are stupid.
I mean, because that's the thing is, to me, I guess I won't spoil the ending, but
I don't want to spoil it here. But
don't spoil it. I want to see it.
The difference between the ending in the comic and the ending of the movie was a difference that I didn't remember. That's how unimportant that element of it. It could be important for some people. It could be important for in some stories, but in this story, I did not feel that thing that changed was important. What matters is that the dog doesn't die. That's, I mean, that's the important thing. It's that she does save the one that needs to be saved. Anyway, anything else on Supergirl before I go on?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. We already talked about Obsession, Jackass, Best and Last.
Oh, I saw that too.
It's first Jackass movie that I've ever seen. This is why you get AMC A-list, so that you go see movies that you would not otherwise see. It was, I gave it 2.5 stars, but I gave it a like on Letterboxd. It did make me laugh a lot. There was one scene in particular where, I'm going to spoil it, they drank colonoscopy stuff, and then had clear plastic pants on while they played Twister, or Legally Distinct from Twister, and shat all over each other. And I did have to look away during that scene. There were a few other scenes, but yeah.
I feel bad in that scene because I will gag if I see something disgusting. And we were in the theater we went to was full. I didn't want to gag around people, but that scene got me. But that one grossed me out. I will admit the one that really got me, like I was dying crying, is the one where Chris Pontius is naked and they want him to jump like a hurdle while he's naked and his dick's out and he's slapping it on his thighs to make like a rhythm. It's like the funniest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, it was. So I will
I'm
say,
good.
like, so here's my little, my very, very, very tiny soapbox. This is what I didn't understand with Jackass. Like, for most of my life, it was just, Jackass is just either gross out stuff or like people doing stupid things that will hurt themselves. It's not people that will be doing stupid things that hurt themselves. It is people performing stunts. And if you think of it that way, as these are stuntmen, then that kind of that puts things in a completely different perspective. What I actually thought was really interesting was they had clips of old Jackass stuff, most of which, or some of which, I don't know how much of it was never before seen, but there were a few.
I think.
Yeah, there were two things in particular. Maybe three.
Oh no, I will say this. If you're very uncomfortable, so the very first scene is a scene that's never before seen. It's crazy. It's the movie straight up starts off with like a 20-year-old Johnny Knoxville, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and I'm about to shoot myself in the chest." And they wouldn't let them air it on TV because it's literally just Johnny Knoxville in a bulletproof vest with a revolver shooting himself in the fucking chest.
Why?
It's terrifying. He didn't die from it, but it's like,
Obviously.
you guys are stupid. No wonder this wasn't aired on TV.
And so I think the funniest one for me was, and I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was aired or not, but it was when they have Johnny Knoxville in a prisoner outfit going into a hardware store to borrow a hacksaw.
That was funny as hell. I like that.
It was great because I guess I didn't realize how much of it there's an element of like pranks involved with the Jackass. Like there's more to it than just turning upside down into Porta-John. And I don't know. It was what I expected, but I was kind of pleasantly surprised by it. So like, maybe, give it a shot. It says something about how the degradation and enshittification of society, which I hate that word enshittification. I don't totally agree with it, but the fact that when Jackass came out, this was considered like the bottom of the barrel comedy, like the absolute worst of the worst. And now we watch this and it's like, actually, this was kind of a clever, unique concept that, and it was sort of, felt very rock and roll, felt very like there's like an independent spirit about it all. Yeah. So there's an authenticity to it that maybe wasn't appreciated in its early days.
Jackass has this weird, like, kind of avant-garde thing where I will say it because a lot of kids nowadays are also trying to replicate it as trying to be like YouTube pranksters. And the thing that they lose that they don't understand that Jackass did eventually move away from. They did have it kind of in the beginning, but they got away from it. You hurt yourself. You make a fool of yourself. Don't fuck with other people. Like, fuck with other people in a jokingly way, but don't make it to where either they're gonna get hurt or it's basically abusing people. Because like Johnny Knoxville going dressed up as a prisoner. Yeah, it was stupid, but he wasn't getting anyone hurt like that. Yeah, the police did surround him, but he wasn't like pretending to like hold people hostage or anything.
There's a moment where because the police car comes up on the curb and blocks him. The police officer comes out pulling a gun and he's like, "No, it's just a costume for a bit." And she's like, "What did you think was going to happen? You're wearing a prisoner outfit walking down the street." And
I thought you were saying where like a cop pulls up and runs out of the car and the fucking car is still in drive and you see drive down the fucking sidewalk. That was crazy.
Well, what was wild to me about that sketch was that it was, and I mean, and also there's another one that I don't think was never before seen where they kidnapped Brad Pitt and like people called the police on him. Like, and I think they said they did that better, but like, it's like with the prisoner one, especially, it was like, you would think that like maybe the police should have like, when they said there's an escaped prisoner here, maybe they should have like called the prison and said, "Hey, did anybody escape prison?" you know,
they
this
processed
is
him for that too, just to make sure.
I,
But
it was yeah,
You would know.
it was interesting stuff.
Your
But
previous
for
job.
me, the difference between this and the YouTube pranksters is that this is that the Jackass guys are funny.
yeah, I
You
think
know, and and there's also watching it. There's an element of professional wrestling too. There's an element of kayfabe. Like I suspect they were playing. There were definitely some times when clearly they were playing things up, or even the people that, even if there were people who were involved that were not, that were outside of their core, like it was a prank, you could kind of tell that maybe some people were playing things up. I won't go into specifics because I don't want to get bogged down on that. But there's an element of kayfabe there. It's all in good, like it very much felt all in good fun and not. Not, but whatever, it's fine. It also was like 90 minutes, and I think it probably could have been about 70 minutes, and that would have been
Mhm.
fine.
I mean, you
but-
laughed. That's what,
I laughed, and
supposed to
there were
do,
only
so,
a few times. There were only a few times that I was super grossed out, and that happens in any kind of movie that's got a gross out premise. Movie that did not gross me out but did make me laugh a lot was Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. This is a little indie film. Basically, the premise is Gail Daughtry is a small town lady who, fell in love with she was a cheerleader and fell in love with the quarterback. And she, like, it starts out with like her writing a newspaper article that says why I will never leave my hometown, very like, and she just jokingly makes a deal with her husband that, who's your one free pass? And of course, and it ends up being that he's his one free pass because he's never seen Friends before, but he does go to a book signing of Jennifer Aniston.
God damn it! I thought you said Friends. I was like, it's Jennifer Aniston. It's got to be Jennifer.
Yeah,
Aniston.
he goes to a book signing of Jennifer Aniston that's very funny, where she's reading a cookbook that she made that's like really, really basic. She's like, chop up celery, chop up lettuce, toss with tomatoes, serve with tap water. It's sort of funny. But anyway, put one thing leads to another, and he has sex with Jennifer Aniston, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this was my free pass," and of course, Gail is upset by that because you're not supposed to take those things literally. And so she goes to Los Angeles and sees a psychic who tells her that the only way that she can save her relationship is if she has sex with John Hamm, and which is her, that's her celebrity pass, and shenanigans ensue. They meet up with what the breakout character is definitely John. Is it John Slattery? That's the other guy from
You know
Mad
what?
Men?
That is fair. Actually, I looked up John Hamm. That's fair. That's a fair pass.
But John Slattery. John Slattery is playing a heightened version of himself who has basically not gotten any work since Mad Men and is like living in a garage, and John Hamm will not return his texts. And it was just a fun movie. And like, it's one of those comedies where there are villains who are, because there's also a subplot where she accidentally gets a stack of papers that will destroy the entire global financial system. And so there's like bad guys chasing after her. But other than the villains, like there's not like everyone is super friendly and nice and everything, but there's like this element of silliness. Another person that, this is in the trailer, but another person that she picks up is an agent in training. So she goes to like the John Hamm's talent agency to try to get in touch, and she explains to this guy that she needs to have sex with John Hamm, and he takes her back and says, "Excuse me, John Hamm's agent, this Gail Daughtry, you see, she needs to have sex with John Hamm." And then the next scene is him that he's been fired. And
Okay.
Weird Al has a machine gun at one point. It's just lots of fun.
It sounds stupid but funny. So
It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, you had me at the beginning. That sounds awesome as hell.
Yeah,
Where's
it
all my
does.
fucking food going?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And just like, I think it was written by, I can't remember his name, but another one of the stars of Mad Men.
Okay.
That's all I got for
show.
movies.
Okay. And then I got one more to mention. Joe, you'll like this. I finally watched Ready or Not.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that movie. Oh, that
I
was
love
so
that
good.
movie, dude. You know what's funny? I watched the sequel. The sequel is just as good, honestly.
I really want to see the sequel. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So I was supposed to see the first one, then go see the second one in theaters, but I just didn't get there in time because I didn't watch the first one in time.
That's the one where they hide and seek and murder and want to murder her, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Because they made a deal with the devil.
Yes.
I enjoyed that movie as well.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, the sequel's as good, trust me.
I was really surprised how much fun it was. I was not expecting. I mean, I heard you talk about it before, and I was interested, but I was like, "This is actually hilarious." So I had a good time. I enjoyed that, and then that's
another example of the nice guy is actually the villain movie.
Well, kind of, yeah. That's a good way to put it.
I do have one more. I don't think I've been on since I've talked about it. And I might have mentioned it to Mike before, but it is my movie of the year. If you liked Ready or Not as well, it's called They Will Kill You.
Oh yeah, I heard you talk about it in the Discord. No, you haven't been on for a bit because schedule.
Yeah, my scheduling's awful. Hopefully soon be fixed. Yeah, that I won't get into that one either because it kind of ruins like the beginning plot of the movie. But I highly recommend that movie as well. It's basically like a spiritual sequel to Kill Bill.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all the movies I got. Anybody else have any movies?
I got a couple. I can rapid fire real quick. I got 3, but I watched Faces of Death the other night.
Okay.
So I guess
real life murder things.
So yeah, it's a remake of the late 70s film that was like a classic amongst tape traders and VHS shops and all that. And honestly, up until very recently, I still thought that the deaths depicted in that thing were real. I remember everybody when I was back in high school, that tape going around. But it wasn't. It was a fictionalized film. They just marketed it to make it seem real. And this is a remake of that. And they do a fun twist with it where it's like a serial killer who is now killing people based on vignettes that were shown in that original movie, basically. So he's taking things from that original movie and he's recreating them and actually killing people for real. The villain's played by, I don't know how to say the guy's name, but it's a Dacre Montgomery. He plays Billy on Stranger Things. He was good. Barbie Ferreira is our female lead.
The Red Ranger in that Power Ranger movie, it will never get a sequel to.
Oh, was he? I never saw that. Okay.
It's a good movie.
It was a good movie, really? All right.
I'm biased.
I like it.
Yeah, so I don't know. Faces of Death, it was very mediocre. It was fine. I don't know. I lost steam on it, but it was fine. What I didn't lose steam on, and what surprised the hell out of me, was a friend of mine, very late in its run, dragged me out to see Masters of the Universe, which I had no interest in seeing. I had no interest in seeing. Apparently, a lot of other people didn't have interest in seeing based on its box office run here. But I got to tell you, I have no nostalgia for that franchise outside of, I think I owned a couple toys as a kid. It might have been some of the first toys I ever had. I know I had that light up power sword as a kid, but that's my only nostalgia for that franchise is from that. But I went in, that movie's a blast. I mean, they kind of do like the Guardians of the Galaxy thing. There's a lot of needle drop song moments, and the humor is kind of in the Guardians of the Galaxy style too, but mostly landed for me. The cast is great. Alison Brie's in it. She's wonderful. Idris Elba. And even Jared Leto, I gotta say, Skeletor's the highlight of that movie. Every time he's on screen, he really chews up the scenery. So really, really surprised how much I enjoyed that movie because I went in with no expectations on it.
You have his first and only good movie?
Yeah, I know. And
pretty much.
I also, though, same thing as Mike probably too. I refuse to see anything with Jared Leto in it. Especially I knew Morbius was going to fail. That's probably the only movie I've seen with him in it, but we also went to go laugh at that movie. So
that's fair.
But I'm glad that movie is good though. So I'm hoping, because I love He-Man.
I'm disappointed now after seeing it and seeing how good it was to see how it performed at the box office. I can't imagine that it's going to get a sequel, but who knows? I mean, maybe it could happen.
They just have to stop expecting to get the amount of money they expect from movies. Yeah,
I know.
have to understand.
That's what it is.
You're going to make your money
in 40 years
in digital sales.
Exactly.
You're going to make your money in other things, and they just have to accept that and be like, "Oh, we got to make all our money only in the theaters." Like that ship has sailed, guys. Like that's not how it works anymore. Like you need to let it go.
Well, my only thought with this one.
No, well, I was just gonna say it's similar to video games. You have these like really this really top heavy spending $11 billion on these movies when the technology exists that you can make a visually good movie for a fraction of the cost.
Right.
But it's just that they spend I don't know what they spend money on, but like Crooms was whatever $10 million, and
there you go.
Friggin' Godzilla -1 a few years ago was double digit millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's a choice. I'm pretty sure.
you can make a movie for $50 million and probably do just about anything you want. It just isn't going to be the absolutely visually most craziest thing ever, but also those are the ones that if they need to have people go to see things in theaters, then it has to be the most visually crazy thing ever. So I don't know.
That's what it has to be.
I think, I think with especially with something like He-Man that is going to have a niche audience unless they tried to market it, but
it's still He-Man
finds its audience.
And that was my thought. I'm thinking
40.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm 40 years old myself, and I have barely any memory of the original cartoon and things like that. And I know that I'm past the movie going demographic who they target towards. Right. So they're targeting to 45 to 50-year-olds who are not going to the movies. I mean, I'm 40 and I barely go as much as I used to. So I just
almost never go.
Right. So,
it's also with He-Man, it's like a gendered thing more than some other stuff. Cause that's definitely not a thing that there were not girls playing with He-Mans. Even compared with even Power Rangers, if Power Rangers had gone away after Mighty Morphin, something like that had 30 or 40% of the viewership was female. Pokemon has a solid female viewership. I really don't think that's the same with He-Man.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, you're right. And that just limits your audience even more.
Yeah.
It's a shame because they did a good job with it, though. Okay, and one more this is the one I couldn't wait to talk about. I got onto using Letterboxd a couple months ago, and I've been going back and cataloging 100 years of movies or whatever. And, out of 500 something rankings, I have 18 5-star reviews, I think, out of 500. And the other night I added my 19th 5-star review, and it was for The Sheep Detectives. I don't know if anybody here has seen that yet.
I've heard of it.
I've also heard that movie.
Blew me away. It's kind of like Babe meets Knives Out. That's kind of like the elevator pitch for the movie. Farm animals solving a murder. Hugh Jackman, and it's not a spoiler either because it's in the trailer, but Hugh Jackman is a sheep herder. He dies under mysterious circumstances, and his flock of sheep has to figure out what happens to him. But man, I found myself weeping at talking sheep. Not even 45 minutes into the movie. It's very well done. I don't want to talk too much on the story beats because they're all, it's all spoilery, and you should just sit down and watch it. I do think it is a transcendent experience. Some of the voice cast very good. You got Patrick Stewart in there. You got Bryan Cranston in there. You got
God damn.
Who played Ellie in The Last of Us? I can't remember her name. She's one of the sheep.
Yeah.
I can't remember right now. But anyway, a really good voice cast, live action cast. Actually, the guy who plays He-Man in Masters of the Universe also pops up in this movie, and he's very good. I forget the actor's name, but Cousin Greg from Succession is kind of our human detective here. He's like a bumbling who has to work with the sheep, and it's all great. Anyway, it's my 19th 5-star review on Letterboxd. Sheep Detectives. Wholeheartedly recommend it.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I know. I would have never expected it, but here we are.
Not since that one with the bear that likes marmalade that has a children's movie.
Paddington, right?
Not since Paddington Paddington 2, I think, has a children's movie like this kind of been so critically revered.
Yeah, it blew me away. I've been telling everybody about it. And
fuck me.
Most people look at me sideways.
Why does everyone keep telling me to watch fucking Paddington 2? God damn you, Nicolas Cage and fucking...
That too.
God damn it.
Oh, he's in that?
No, and Nicolas Cage has like a movie where he stars himself, and who's the guy from The Mandalorian?
Yeah. Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
What's that called?
Oh, is that Massive Talent?
The Pursuit of Massive Talent.
And
Pedro Pascal's character is like, I've only cried twice, and one of those times was during Paddington, and he's like, Paddington's not that fucking good. And he goes, oh yeah, and the next scene they're sitting there watching it.
Very good.
Okay.
And that's all I got for movies. Yeah, that's it.
All right. That everybody then for movies?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to TV. And so I got a few. I'll mention all of them. There's not that many. I watched The American Experiment on Netflix. It's a documentary series about how the country was founded. It's very interesting, though. Also very, it kind of talks about how we're the closest we ever been to having a king than we ever been in a long time. So Yeah, they were like, yeah, the founding fathers did not count for this, but it was very, very good. Then I also been watching, which is not very good on Peacock, The Devil in Disguise, John Wasey, like, dramatization of him.
Oh.
I don't
Oh, I
care
think
for it.
I turned that one off very early on, if I remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish it, but I'm
Yeah.
like, it's just not good. It's just not interesting. So
Weird.
yeah, so I don't recommend it. I'm 5 episodes in. Me and Tiff are like, we're gonna finish this, and we're trying, but no, it's not. It's
Not
very
great.
good. No, I don't like it. Well, one, it does too many time jumps, so it's hard to pay attention with what's happening, and that just takes away from your show too. I need to be able to understand what I'm watching, and I don't.
Right.
That's crazy.
So, like, they do a lot of time jumps to kind of like talk about like his victims and things like that. So, I mean, they try some interesting stuff, but it's there's something, I don't know. There's something about it I do not care for. So, and then I rewatched Quarterback season 1 and 2, which essentially just talks about the 2022 season and the 2024 NFL season. I don't know why, but I like those behind the scenes stuff. And they just released season 3, so I'm about to start that hopefully tomorrow. And then I watched halfway through Arrow season 3.
Like Green Arrow?
Yeah, I'm trying to go through all those shows again because I never finished them. So, and I only got about halfway because I'm watching on Pluto, and Pluto's awful with commercials. And for some reason, season 3 is just like, how many times can we fuck up and like take you to a different episode that you weren't watching and stuff like that? And I'm like, this is not rocket science. Like, just
I'm like 90% sure Arrow is on Netflix, like the whole series.
it's not.
It's
At least
not.
It wasn't as of last when I looked before, unless it's changed recently. Flashes.
Okay.
Flash, Supergirl are. I'm also watched half of Supergirl season 1, and that's as far as I gotten so far. Because me and Tiff are watching that together, so she falls asleep a lot. With TV. She gets home, and she's like, "I'm taking." She'll just be watching. They're watching TV with me. Next thing I know, she's passed out. I'm like,
She's eepy, bro.
she is very, very sleepy. So yeah, that's all I have for TV. What about you, Joe?
Joe's Anime Corner. Anime Corner. All I
watch
do
a
is
lot of anime.
all I do is watch anime for some dumbass reason. The new season started, so nothing I actually want to watch is out this season. So I'll talk about last season. If you hate Harry Potter and need a reason to watch a new show that has magic, season 2 has been confirmed. Go watch Witch Hat Atelier on Crunchyroll. That one, I say this, but it's a season behind. So if you haven't watched it, watch it right now. Skip around if you have to as well, because this is my first high recommendation. And I will say what happens in the first episode, which will hopefully piques everyone's interest into watching it. So it's basically about this girl that knows magic exists. They all know magic exists in this world. All the witches in this world wear pointy hats. They're not really sure why. She ends up going down a weird dark alley and meeting this weird wizard that gives her a book and a wand and says, hey, figure out magic. So she spends the whole episode trying to figure out. The whole episode explains how magic has influenced her life. She really wants to learn how to become a wizard or a witch, and things like that. So one day, there's a people flying it's like a Pegasus with like a hover cart, and the hover cart taps the water and something happens. And the wizard is a wizard that shows up by happeth and goes, hey, I'll fix it for you. Can I borrow your house? And so the little girl and her mom are like, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. He goes, whatever you do. And he's like, I need everyone to fucking stay back because basically magic's very secretive. You're not allowed to learn magic unless you're a witch or you've been approved by a witch council, things like that. So she decides to be a little shit since it's her house. She sneaks into the attic and it reveals that all magic are just glyph circles. So all you do is have a circle with a bunch of glyphs inside, and that's what magic is in a universe. And she goes, oh, you write it with a pen. And so she takes the wand that she's had for like 8 years, and she pops the top off, and she realizes it's ink and a pen. And she's like, oh, shit. So she opens the book and starts like carving the circles copying the circles from the book. And it's making magic. And she goes, oh, it's work. So she flips all the way to the end of the book and she copies this glyph and it starts turning into like a crystal and it gets bigger and bigger. And she's like, uh-oh, something feels wrong. And her door slams open and the wizard that was there scoops her up. And it's just this really dramatic scene where he has her up he's flying too. Like his shoes are connected and you see a circle where he's flying through the air. And he's like, Coco, her name's Coco. He goes, Coco, what did you do? What did you do, Coco? And she's like, what do you mean? And she looks down. Her whole house is now just a big crystal and her mom's like in the middle of it. And so he's like, the whole point of the season is he's like, I will teach you how to be a witch in order to get you to the High Council and we'll go to the library. And he goes, do you remember what that spell looks like? And she's like, yeah, I remember what it looks like. And he goes, if I were to show you that spell in the book, would you be able to recognize it? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, well, I'm supposed to erase your memory, but I'll take you on as my apprentice and we'll learn magic. And it's basically her learning like witches don't have brims anymore because brimmed hat witches are evil. They all have pointy hats, and it learns all this. It's basically, if you like deep lore like Harry Potter, you learn all kinds of cool and interesting things. And maybe that magic's a little fucked up in a way.
Weird,
What is
but
that?
all right.
Yeah,
You're enjoying yourself. That's what matters.
Yeah, I'll probably post that clip in the Discord, in my Discord, or Mike's Discord in my corner. Another one that we watched last season, same concept, Shadows of the Daemon. It's basically from the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. So if you like Full Metal Alchemist, stop here, go watch it. Trust me, it's amazing. Like the whole episode starts off where there's two twins born, and it's like ancient Japan, and they're like, "Hey, twins being born are bad. We got to get them out of here." Things like that. Then it goes to 14 years later. The blonde twin is learning how to hunt, things like that, and basically being told, "Hey, you can't leave the village. The village has to do these things, blah, blah, blah." And then one day the sky just breaks open and it reveals they're not actually in ancient Japan. They're actually in modern day. And the village is hidden in like the middle of Japan. And basically people with guns and helicopters come in, and they basically have tell the kid that he has the ability to use like people are able to summon. They're basically Japanese mythological creatures, and he summons the one at his village, which is called Left and Right, and it's basically just a very beautiful white hair and a very buff white haired, like they're like siblings, but they're technically made of stone, so they're as hard as stone, and they can turn like these thunder beasts. But he basically uses them to escape, and he's trying to figure out what's going on because his sister gets killed, but then it reveals that wasn't his sister, it was actually like an evil like body double. And that his sister escaped years ago with his parents, and that's where his parents are, and that the village has been lying to him because it's modern day, and that they're just after their power and things like that. And it's just really good and intricate, and just a lot of twists and turns. And like I said, that one's called Shadow of the Daemons. And then one last one, it's starting for the new season, because the new season of Bleach isn't out till the fucking 25th, so I guess I'll have to wait till then. But this one, my interest...
Never ends.
It's ending, shut up.
My friend.
What is it? It's called Tanya the Evil. They're finally having a season 2 after like 6 years. This one Mike might find interesting. It's basically the equivalent of a guy hates God, and one of his employees pushes him out into the train tracks, and God's like, "Hey, if you tell me you love me, I'll save you." And he's like, "Fuck you, I'm not doing that." And so he goes, "Okay." So he puts him in a little girl's body in like, Mike, when's World War One?
I don't remember.
1918.
He puts him in a little girl's body
1917.
in 1917, but instead of it being regular Germany, it's magic Germany. So it's a bunch of German soldiers fighting with magic and like sigils and stuff, and they're like flying through the air in World War II gear and like popping off like magic bullets at each other. It's like the coolest thing ever.
That does sound interesting.
It's basically a 40-year-old man in the body of a 5-year-old, and everyone's terrified of her because they make her a general. So
Okay.
Go watch Tanya the Evil.
And Kendall, do you have some TV shows?
So I haven't been watching too much TV, so I'll just steal the big one that I'm sure all of us are watching. X-Men 97 came back.
Yes.
I should mention
And it's still real good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's very like it's the kind that my favorite kind of comic book adaptation is when I watch The Thing and they do, a riff on an existing story, and I'm like, I should read that. When I come out of it saying I want to explore more, I want to dive deeper on this, because I read a lot of comics, and I don't have a huge history with X-Men, especially relative to how much X-Men history there is. So there's lots of fun stuff with Apocalypse and stuff. My only criticism is that they don't say that it takes place in the 90s often enough. One time per episode is not enough.
They do say that every episode.
It's very important that we go back to the 90s because there's time travel stuff.
I don't mind, because then people might be confused. Like I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, it's very confusing because who's to tell? You really can't tell like from anything like the title of the series what year it takes place in.
I know, but still.
So it's very. I can understand how it's confusing. Because it's spinning out of the show from the 90s that was in 1992, but this is 5 years later. That's why it's called X-Men 97. That's a spoiler for the end of the first season. But
yeah, I know.
it's been
It's
out
still-
for long enough. I think we can spoil that X-Men 97 takes place in 1997. No, it's great. They did stuff with Cable, because I always thought it was interesting that in the 92 series, Cable, they never addressed that he's Scott Summers' son.
No, he's somebody else. Like at first, it's really weird.
Right. It's they treat him like he's or he's somebody else, or he's treated like he's somebody else. Yeah. But they don't. I don't know how the timeline lined up. Like if that was, if that continuity establishment. I don't know because X-Men continuity is all over the place. But the show's good.
No, it's really good. It's way better than it has any right to be.
No, I think it has a right to be this good.
I'm a little surprised.
I mean, the Disney Plus stuff has been pretty good. I don't know if you guys watched Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but
No,
I haven't checked that out.
yet.
Yeah.
I like it.
Daredevil. I feel like everyone else in the world likes it more than me, but I like it okay. That Punisher,
I haven't tried it
Punisher
yet.
special was pretty bad, but
That's what I heard too.
I think if
I'm
you
so
like-
done with MCU. I just don't even care.
I think if you like Kingpin, then you'll like the Daredevil.
Yeah.
With Kingpin.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of Kingpin.
Okay.
But it's good. And they've slowed, all this stuff has slowed down so much that revisiting it is going and watching it at least, at your own pace and picking and choosing what you're interested in is, you can definitely enjoy it. I think there hasn't been anything that was like objectively awful that I've watched on Disney Plus. Like there are things that weren't for me or things that, but the actual, like, I think for the most part, they've succeeded in what they were trying to do. So, also, I don't remember if I mentioned Spider Noir on the last episode. I'm super paranoid about repeating myself, but Spider
I don't
Noir was
remember
great.
either. It's been a little bit since you've been on, for the record. So
Yeah. Speaking of Nick Cage, Spider Noir is great. Watch it.
I've heard
It's on Prime, so you don't even have to have Disney Plus for it, because we all have Prime so that we can get things delivered.
yes, I use
It's
it all the
true.
time. I have more dice coming that I don't need. So Prime's great.
But yeah, I haven't really been watching that much TV. Been watching a lot of YouTube videos and listening to podcasts and watching movies. So yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, and Tyler.
Yeah, I have just one. My wife and I have been watching Cape Fear on Apple TV. It's a TV version, of the 60s movie and the 90s movie. It's another retelling where Javier Bardem plays Max Cady in this one, the Robert De Niro role from the 90s movie. And, it's Javier Bardem being a creepy weirdo. So, he's going to be good because he's very good at being a creepy weirdo. And it's been good. It's been coming out week by week. It's holding our interest. It's not done yet. Amy Adams is actually playing the Nick Nolte role in this. They kind of gender swapped her. Amy Adams is playing the lawyer and Patrick Wilson plays her husband. It's a good show so far. Holds your interest, keeps you on the edge of your seat with each episode. They use the same music from at least the 90s movie, which I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but it's also the same music that they use in the Simpsons episode Cape Fear. So every time I hear it, it makes me laugh because I'm just thinking about Sideshow Bob and not about Max Cady. But I don't know. It's good. It's not done yet. I think there's a couple episodes left, but we haven't stopped watching it. So I think that's a win.
Good
it's good
sign.
enough. Yeah, it's good enough. We want to see it through. So we'll see. But I'm
Always a
enjoying
good
it.
sign when you're enjoying a show enough. You're like, I don't want to stop.
Yeah, it's like at this point, I need to see it through. Yeah. But that's all I got. I've been not watching much TV.
I remember when Netflix show used to make me feel that way.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's everything. Good. We made it through. So
Yeah.
then we should go to plugs. And Kendall, where can people find you at?
So you can find everything I do at kendallcast.ninja, or, well, not everything I do, because some stuff is just on YouTube. So go to Kendallcast Network on YouTube, or Kendallcast on the podcatcher of your choice. On YouTube, I recently did a review of the video game Blueprints, which I forgot to talk about during the What You Played. But if you want to know what I think of it, watch that review. And then also, you can watch my review of The Mandalorian, or listen to my review of The Mandalorian. I am everything that I ever hated now, because I refer to listening to podcasts as watching podcasts, even though most of my podcasts are not video, they're audio only. But I've become everything I ever hated. But it's on YouTube, or it's on the podcatcher of your choice, the Kendallcast Movie Roundtable. I literally just posted The Mandalorian. Hopefully,
I did not
it'll
see
be
that
on-
movie. I wanted to. I just didn't go. Kind of
Go
regret
see it. It's good.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
good.
Disney Plus at this point.
It's
I will
fine.
be.
It was the most fun I've had at a Star Wars movie since Attack of the Clones.
Telling me.
Yeah.
I know how
So,
much you like that
that's
movie.
all.
So.
But Kendallcast, Kendallcast.ninja, Kendallcast Network on YouTube. Kendall
Right,
Cast
and
on the
Tyler.
podcasters.
Besides showing up here every once in a while, I was just going to take a second and shill for my friends. If you're in the tri-state area or the Metro New York area, July 30th through August 2nd, Somerset, New Jersey is hosting the East Coast Rocky Horror Picture Show convention. The Friday night specials cast in New Jersey. I'm an alumni for them. I performed with them for 13 years. I met my wife doing Rocky Horror. It means a lot to us. And, it's always a good time. It's always a good time. They're doing a Rocky Horror screening. They're doing the often forgotten sequel to Rocky Horror, Shock Treatment. They're doing Mamma Mia, and they're doing Reefer Madness, all with live shadow casts. They do panels. There's merchandise you can buy. It's a really good time. So July 30th through August 2nd, Somerset, New Jersey. Go to njrockycon.com for more info. That's all I got.
All right, send me a link and I'll put it in the show notes for this.
Will do.
Because this comes out the 28th or so right before.
Right starts. Before then. Perfect.
And there are people listening to in that area that do listen to this episode. Do listen to this show. So
nice, yeah, cool.
Because I can see what states people listen to it. Right, and then if you enjoyed this episode over 1,000 other episodes of this podcast, we do movies, TV shows, video games, comics, all sorts of crazy ass content. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. A little dog vote in our Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2. We have 2 polls a month, and you also get access to the shows early because I post everything on there ahead of time. So you get. And they're ad-free, because we have ads every so often. We do currently, depending when you're hearing this. Hopefully this will there. So check that out. And you also, if you donate $10 or more, I will plug your podcast YouTube every episode I make during that month, like these lovely people. Phoebe Stanton, the Let's Play Princess on YouTube. Check out her podcast, Nerds Broadcast. And also make sure you check out Zach's show, absolutely the best podcast of work in progress. Talk about the MCU movies and currently doing the Alien Predator franchise. I think they just finished, but make sure you check out their show. And also check out Bill Tucker's show, A Gamer Looks at 40. And also make sure you check out his new podcast, Carrying My Cross. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy Helena at Hell Has Fury. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And please join our Discord. If you want to be in the show and suggest things for the show, you want to talk, chat with us, join the Discord. You'll see a link in the show notes. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.